and you're the one searching my car. How dare you go in my car?
Policy enforcer pulls you over. He can check in the immediate vicinity of your vehicle.
He pulls in my car. The first question I asked him is, I said, is your body camera on? He goes, why? I said, is your body camera on? He goes, why?
Does not answer questions, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. License valid, to the best of your knowledge?
That's my license.
Okay.
What do you pull me over for?
Seatbelt.
Okay.
I'll write it down for you.
All right.
Would you lean over and put under the seat when I pulled you over? Huh?
I don't answer questions, man. If you look right here, he has my ID in his hand. With both his hands, he's holding either side of my ID and looking down at it. Now, just because he pulled me over, he doesn't have the right to take me out of the car, like the Masters report says. Terry versus Ohio is still the controlling case. There's Gant versus Arizona, there's Mims versus Pennsylvania, and there's Johnson versus Arizona. But don't let those get you confused. Terry versus Ohio is still the controlling case. Just because he pulled me over doesn't mean he can automatically take me out of the car. In this situation, he has to satisfy two elements. One, that I have a weapon, and two, that I'm going to use it against him. So he has to believe that I'm armed and dangerous. Not just that I'm armed, but that I'm willing to use it against him, because we have a Second Amendment right to bear arms. He's standing 6 inches away from me. He has every vital organ inside my window. He's got both his hands on my ID, and he's not looking at me, but he's standing 6 inches away from someone he thinks is going to murder him, or has the possibility to murder him. Has anybody ever seen an officer who thinks somebody has a gun? They don't come close to the car. They have their hand on their gun. They have their gun
in
out.
a life-threatening situation. The officer's brain goes to a different part. It's not the cognitive part anymore. It's the central part that goes to stored training. You might call it autopilot. The reason it does that is because all of the effort the brain and the body is doing now is surviving. Things happen. Focal narrowing, or what we commonly call tunnel vision, where the eyes are just taking in what they need to survive this particular event. Increased heart rate, hearing, auditory exclusion.
You were safe here. You had cover. You had protection. You could have waited for other units. Self right in front. So he gets from here, instead of holding and stabilizing. I just don't... I guess when I was young, I used to want to run up and things and stuff, but...
He doesn't think I have a gun. He doesn't think I have any weapon. But he's a narcotics officer on the west side of Chicago, pulling me over for a seatbelt. His main goal is to get in my car. It's not to give me a seatbelt ticket. It's called a pretextual stop. That's what he used. That's the probable cause he used to pull my car over. But the whole time he's trying to get in the car. I knew that the minute he pulled me over when I saw it was not a blue and white, that they were narcotics officers. They're vice squad officers. They're gangs, guns, drugs. That's what they look for, not seatbelts. That's what the blue and whites are for. I went in through this neighborhood every single day of the week, 5 days a week. It's only when I drove this car that I got pulled over. This is the 6th time I've got pulled over in this car. I have maybe 100 trips to. It's only this car, and it's always narcotics officers, and it's always for a minor traffic infraction. I never got arrested. I only got a parking ticket up until now. They gave me a parking ticket because the narcotics officers didn't even have a ticket book to write a moving violation, because they don't give moving violations.
Step back over there.
That's fine. I just want to let you know.
You're just being detained.
I'm patting you down, make sure there's no weapons.
So watch, I'm saying cursory search. Cursory search is a protective pat down. It's just a pat down. You just can pat down the outside of my clothing. He pulls up my shirt, and you could see him go put his hand in my pocket. Why'd he pull up my shirt? And you see him put his hand down my pocket. I'm continually saying you're allowed to do a cursory search of my person, which is a protective pat down. They mean the same thing, but he didn't know that. But just pat me down. Why are you lifting up my shirt? He put his hand in my pocket, and he took it out immediately when I said that. But he initially put his hand in my pocket. The body camera footage you're watching right now is coming from Jursac, who's the partner of Alvarado. Alvarado is the man in the middle of the screen right there. He's a blue and white. He's in regular uniform. I have his body camera footage, Alvarado's, and I have Jursac's. We're watching Jursac's right now. Oppedisano and Gregory yelling the loudest about their recording. And I asked for all 4 officers' body camera footage. Their body cameras weren't on. I asked for their body cameras. I asked for Gregory's and Oppedisano's. Neither one of them came back. Now, does anybody believe these officers, Gregory and Oppedisano, when they lied about me throwing something underneath the seat, looking like I was throwing something underneath the seat? They lied about having their body cameras on. He's trying to put his hand in my pocket. He puts his hand in my pocket right there when he's only allowed to do a protective pat down. He pulls up my shirt to gain access to my pocket and then puts his hands in my pocket. She's searching my car. You seen how she signed Oppedisano on the ticket in the beginning. Here it is right here. In the video, I say, give me your name and badge star number. And she says, it'll be on the ticket. It'll be on the ticket. She doesn't know that I'm going to FOIA request and get the body camera footage. The only way I had to identify her was from this. That says Oppedisano? Is anybody going to get Oppedisano from that? They lied the whole way through. They were malicious with the lies. They didn't show up for court. I don't trust them. I don't know anyone who would. But here's what you don't know. They're famous. The highlight of their career came from a seatbelt stop in which they searched the car. We are proud to honor Officer Kimberly Oppedisano and Officer Stephen Gregory as our February Officers of the Month. Together, they ultimately broke the case of the slaying of Chicago police officer Clifton Lewis. On January 3rd, 2012, Officer Kimberly Oppedisano and Stephen Gregory conducted a traffic stop while working beat 2563B in the 25th District. During the traffic stop, the front seat passenger, the traffic stop was for no seatbelt, was observed to be in possession of a handgun. The individual, Eduardo Colon, was very concerned about the unlawful use of a weapon, felony charges, and stated he would cooperate in order to receive a lesser sentence. Sergeant Mario Machoka and the arresting officers then brought Colon to Area 5 Detective Division. After endless hours of interviewing, Colon told of his involvement in the slaying of Chicago police officer Clifton Lewis. Colon also named the other offenders involved in the crime. So he didn't want to go back to prison because he was on parole for an unlawful use of a weapon. So he told of his involvement in the slaying of a police officer. Colon got 84 years. Eduardo Colon ended up getting 84 years. So he didn't want to go, he was on parole. He didn't want to go back for an unlawful use of a weapon. So he told of his involvement in a robbery homicide that involved a Chicago police officer. And it wasn't endless hours of interrogation. Supposedly, he told it to Oppedisano within 10 minutes of them getting pulled over for no seatbelt. And they didn't have to search the car. He was conveniently trying to cover it up with his hand when she walked up. That's convenient for the state. So now the plain view doctrine comes in. So the defense never gets to argue or trying to suppress that evidence, fruit from a poisonous tree, at preliminary because she saw it from plain view. I don't trust anything these two say. But the reason I know so much about this case is because somebody that you've seen on the channel, Emlo the activist, that's her right there, is very, very close. Besides Colon, one other person got convicted. There was 4 people there in the state's theory of events, but only 2 got convicted, and one of them, Emlo the activist, is very, very close to. But that's her story, and I'll let her tell it, and she will tell it. She wants to tell it, so let her tell it. It's not for me to tell her story. I got a hell of a story to tell myself with Oppedisano and Gregory. And this happened all over me not having my seatbelt on. They lied and said I had a gun. So if those responding officers would have heard that and I went to reach for my ID or my license and they would have shot me, would they went back to my family and said, oh no, we were just trying to pad our stats, we made a mistake. She called my people. I heard about the stop before I ever put out the video. She knew who I was. There was stuff in my car. She knew who I was. I'm Italian, she's Italian. We're from the same neighborhood. She knew who I was the whole time. That makes it even grimier. I'm going to show you my footage that that many people have seen. My hopes in this video is that I show you how officers, the lies they use, the misconception, how they mislead you into getting into your car. And I know my rights, and they still did it to me on camera. So imagine if you don't know your rights and you're not on camera. Good luck. Because I was just driving along that day, minding my own business, and all of a sudden I'm pulled over. I got a guy grabbing my crotch. I got a girl going through my car. I turned into the Unabomber somehow. I said, of course.
Okay.
What do you pull me over for?
Seatbelt.
Okay.
I'll write it down for you.
All right.
Would you lean over and put under the seat when I pulled you over? Huh?
I don't answer questions, man.
Turn up for me, Joseph.
Man, there's nothing underneath the
When you lean
seat.
over in the seat, when I pull you over,
I went to get my phone.
I don't know.
What's
that.
your
You
reason
could be
for pulling me out of the car?
I told you, you need a seatbelt on first.
Okay, that's okay. So write me a sticker for the seatbelt.
And then when you lean over and put something that looks like you're leaning over, put something on the seat. I don't know if you're trying to hide a weapon.
Well, you need it has to be a Terry stop. You need to have clear and articulable evidence that I committed a crime. Okay, what's the evidence of leaning over? Leaning over is a crime.
Trying to hide a weapon. I don't know that.
Okay, so what are you going to do? You cannot. I didn't. This is a Terry stop, right? It has to qualify as a Terry stop. You have to. I'm not getting out of the car. I didn't do anything wrong. Me leaning over and you believing I touched something means nothing. Means nothing. That's not a crime. I didn't do anything wrong.
Sir, exit the vehicle.
You got nothing to hide.
It's okay. We're all being recorded. We're all being recorded. Yeah.
Okay, so then why are you getting so excited that I'm recording if we're all being recorded?
That's fine. I just want to let you know.
What are you doing?
I'm patting you down.
You're allowed to do a cursory search of my person.
It's a pat down.
Why is she searching my car? Why is she? I did not give her permission to search my car. Me leaning over is not a crime. That's not exactly. You don't know. You have to have clear and articulate. You just said that. You just said the magic word. You don't know. Exactly. You don't know, and you need to have clear and articulable evidence. This was effective March. What does that say? Expiration date 3/12/2020. And you're the one searching my car. You're searching my car. You can't even read a fucking insurance. You're a fucking joke.
There you go, sir.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll be back with your ticket.
Yeah. Hurry up, motherfucker. Yeah. Hurry up. Hurry up. And bring back your ID cards. Bring back your business cards. Make sure you do that. No, bring back your business card. You're out of your fucking mind, dude. You're out of your fucking mind. How dare you go in my fucking car? How dare you go in my car?
Relax, bro.
Unreasonable search and seizure. He said because I was leaning over. What crime is that? What crime is it to lean over in your own car? Clearly articulate what crime that is.
Relax, bro.
You guys are out your mind, dude.
Sir, would you like me to explain it to you, or keep going?
I don't need you to explain anything to me.
Okay, because you know the law, you know everything?
I do know the law. I do know the law. It has to qualify as a Terry stop. It has to qualify as a Terry stop. He took me out of the car because he believed I had a weapon on me, so he can do a cursory search of my person for a weapon. They by no means can enter my car.
Why did he believe you had a weapon?
You'd have to ask him.
Where'd you reach to?
But because I leaned over, that's why he believed I had a weapon. So
It is. When somebody gets pulled over and they want to hide something, you see their head go down and do some stuff. The reason was
that's Officer Alvarado talking. Now, nobody told him that. He just gathered that from us yelling back and forth. He just assumed that's what he thinks they are saying. Nobody told him because he came onto the scene 4 minutes after the traffic stop had already started. He just listened from the sidelines. He's making this all up. He's just gathering this is what he thinks they're talking about. But do you see how he goes and starts covering for them? He doesn't know. He came 4 minutes after the traffic stop started. He was nowhere there when they first pulled me over and were sitting in their car and supposedly saw my head move. Well, they were in their car. But they still walked up to my car all lackadaisically, even though they believe I just put a weapon underneath my seat. My head never went down. My head went up and to the left because I was getting a phone out of my right pocket. But you see how he automatically starts covering for them? This is the conspiracy, the lies. This is how it works. He's completely made this story up in his own head.
Okay, maybe you are hiding something.
Okay.
Reasonable suspicion. It's not a crime to leave.
Okay, that I'm doing what? What's the crime? Reasonable suspicion of what crime?
Hiding something.
Come on.
Wait, hiding something's a crime now? Hiding something, they're going to put out warrants for every preschooler playing hide and go seek. They're going to do mass raids on preschoolers all across the nation. Take your kids out of school, homeschool them. They're coming for them. And again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I never went down to hide anything. They never saw my head go down to hide anything. I'm saying using your best made up make-believe story, you still don't have what it takes to go in my car.
Dude, that's so, okay, keep that. That's got to be your defense in court. Somebody bending over, somebody moving. That's if I was moving. I'm not even saying I was moving.
We don't know what happened. We seen when we rolled up.
I never said anything. I said that's what he said.
You said you leaned over.
I said I leaned over.
Yeah, you said you leaned over.
I said, she asked me what I was getting. It was my phone on my pocket. That's not leaning over here.
And you need to have clear and articulable evidence if I am. You need to have clear and articulable evidence I am. So you're saying you just don't know?
You got insurance on the car, Joseph? You have insurance.
Why is she in my car?
Do you have insurance on the car?
I'm not. Why is she in my car?
Do you have insurance on the car?
Of course I have
Because
insurance.
I wanted to see what you were leaning
Get
over
out of my
doing.
car.
Don't tell me what to do.
Where's your insurance?
Okay?
You want to
Wait,
see what I was leaning over again? It was my phone.
Here
It's
you
on
go.
me. It's on me. My phone.
Okay,
You
good
have
for
no
you.
right to be in my car. So there. I'm being condescending because this is all make-believe. You want to see what I was leaning over to get? It's my phone. It's in my pocket. Get a phone out of your right pocket. Your head will go up and to the left to make room to get your hand in your pocket. She knows I never bent over. It's make-believe. I got a phone out of my pocket. You're lying. I know you're lying. You know you're lying. I'm being condescending. You want to see what I was leaning over to get? It was a Gatorade in the trunk of my car. You know you're lying. You know you're lying. I know you're lying. You know you're lying. You might be fooling these two that just showed up, but I know you're lying. You know you're lying. I'm being condescending. As to say, oh, you want to see what I was leaning over to get? It was my phone out of my pocket. Something you would never have to lean over to do. In fact, you would do the exact opposite. You would post on your left butt cheek and move up when you're 6 foot, 210 pounds in a little car like that. Leaning over would give me no room to get by. It'd be the exact opposite is what I was saying there. I was saying, oh, yeah, I was leaning over. You want to see what I was leaning over to get? It was a Gatorade in my trunk. It was, I was putting oil in my hood. It's the exact opposite of what I would have to do, lean over. But it's all make-believe. She knows she's lying. I know she's lying. But that's the conversation we're having. I said, she asked me what I was getting. It was my phone on my pocket. That's not leaning over here. My phone is in my pocket here. That's not leaning over there.
After the fact.
That's why I'm trying to
Seen
explain
us
to you.
pull up
That's why.
after the fact. I don't know why it transpired.
Is your body camera on?
Yeah, my body camera's on.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Can I have your name? Can I have your Jursac Alvarado?
Ask. He'll tell you his.
I can't. 7118.
6998.
I know. You've been this. If anybody's been a gentleman here, it's been Jursac. I mean, I understand you have.
Being calm, yeah.
You have. I understand. I spoke too soon because when I watched Alvarado's body camera back, Jursac is being cool. Like, right, he is calm. He's the calmest one there. I'm glad somebody that had a temper didn't come when I was that mad. But even when he's trying to be cool to me, he's motioning with his eyes to look at my back seat because I have a toolbox back there. And they're believing the fairy tale of the weapon underneath the seat, and he thinks that's an ammunition box. Because I see him later on, and I said, "Oh, you were looking at my ammunition box," and he started laughing. You thought that was, you thought there was bullets in there. You believe that fairy tale. And if you watch the body camera footage, Jursac keeps on trying to get me to calm down and talk to me rationally. So I'll start saying stuff. Not that I'm being quiet anyways, but he keeps on asking me questions and I just ignore him because I don't answer questions. But I'll talk up a storm. And I am by no means saying this is the way you act at a traffic stop. You should not act like this. But they definitely shouldn't act like that. But don't do what I do.
You have to back
Ever.
these guys up, but they were totally out of line. Completely out of line. I have done nothing wrong. I am a hardworking American. I pay my taxes. I own my own business. To be pulled over for a seatbelt and then she's digging through my car? They're narc officers. They don't pull over people for seatbelts. They pull people over for drugs. Okay? Because I'm white in a black neighborhood. That's exactly why they pulled me over.
They'll explain all the citations to you.
He didn't even have a ticket book. He had to get it from you.
There's your license back.
What's your name and badge number?
It's Gregory. It's right here. I'm going to give you a receipt.
I don't care about that. I'm asking you. Tell me
It's right
what your
here.
name.
Gregory,
No.
9960.
Gregory 9960. Where's your partner at? What's her name and badge number?
It's all on here.
No, I want her. I'm
Oppedisano.
asking her. No, she can't.
I'm telling you.
When he's not giving me her name and he's saying it's on here, he's pointing to that. He's saying Oppedisano is here. He's pointing to that. He's pointing to that signature. This is a joke. Honest to God, if I didn't have all this, nobody would believe the story.
You get to sit in the car now.
I'm telling you.
She does. No, she does not get to sit in the car now.
It's right here.
I'm going to get her on tape.
You already got us. We're all on tape. It's all being recorded.
Listen.
Here's it.
What is her name and badge number?
It's right here.
Okay, tell me it.
Oppedisano.
I
I
can't
just
read.
told you.
Who told you I can read?
Well,
What's her name and badge number?
It's not okay. Oppedisano.
Oppedisano. How do you spell that?
13053.
Pedisano or Oppedisano?
Oppedisano. It's all right here.
And
Here's
where
your
do you
traffic
work out
ticket.
of? What command do you work out of?
I'm sorry. What?
Where do you work out of? Where do you do roll call? When they go roll call and they say,
I don't do a roll call, buddy.
okay, where do you work out of?
Here, I'm
Is
gonna
that
give you this.
where do you
I'm gonna
work
sit
out
right
of?
here.
Do you work out of
There's
Grandin
your
Central?
receipt. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Grandin Central? Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I told you that already. Here's your tickets. You can mail it in. You got your license.
I'm gonna mail those in. Yeah, sure.
There you go. Have a great
Make sure
day.
you show up for court. Make sure you show
mail
up.
it in.
Make sure you show up for court. Make sure you show up for court.
mail it in.
Make sure you show up for court. This is her.
You hear Jursac and Alvarado saying, hey,
Right
my
here.
man. Sorry, traffic
This is
stop's
the
over.
one.
I'm not detained anymore.
Right there. Right there.
It's me.
Yeah, it is you. I'll see you in court. I'll see you in court, sweetheart.
Anyways, real quick, look who I ran into in November. The seatbelt stop happened about 3 blocks from here, which I almost got my head blown off for not wearing my seatbelt. And I ran into Jursac and Alvarado, the two officers in uniform who I got their body camera footage. And people complain often that officers escalate situations. Jursac did nothing but try and de-escalate the situation the whole time. He's the one that was the most calm the whole time, and it ended up making me calm. But he was a little sneaky. When I watched Alvarado's body camera footage, he's making eye contact with him and trying to get him to look in my back seat, because right behind my passenger seat in the back was like a tackle box, a dollar store, like little hardware box, and he's buying into the fairy tale for a second, and I think he's trying to get Alvarado to look at it and think it's a tactical box, as in bullets or whatever people put in a tactical box. And it's more looks like a tackle box, like in fishing. Alvarado, what? Where's your buddy? Where's the guy with the, where's the big tall, the Polish, my guy? Remember me? This is my guy. This is the only guy I like. Did you see yourself on YouTube there? Yeah. Hey, I did see you though. You were making a motion to him to look in my back seat. You saw that tackle box. What did you think that was? What did you think that was? You were playing friendly, but you were yeah, with the tack box. But I appreciate you were a gentleman that day, and so I want to give credit to the good officers. You were a good officer, Jursac. That's it. So you were a good officer. I do appreciate that, even though you tried to get me hemmed up there. What's going on over here, though, guys?
Just a little assault, that's all it was.
A little assault. Hey, any assault's a big assault. We don't need to be assaulted. Jursac, you are a good man. Alvarado, follow Jursac's lead, but you're okay too. You're okay in my book. Okay. Good job, guys. Put your seatbelt on. You don't got your seatbelt on. My man, you don't got your seatbelt on. You're driving without your seatbelt on. Huh? Click it or ticket. You didn't have your seatbelt on.
Yeah, I had to move the car.
What's your name there, Simmons?
Simmons 19757.
19757. Yeah, we all got to move cars, Simmons, but when we do it safely. Put your seatbelt on next time, okay? Thank you. What I get asked more than anything is what happened after the video. What's the follow-up? I can't, that's why I made this series, what happened after the video. Episode 1 was me in the 7th District, the situation with Snelling and my stalker that was sending me death threats, acting like a Chicago police officer. You'd have to watch that video. The link's in the description. But this is episode 2, and this is part 2 of episode 2. This is me inside the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, giving my sworn affidavit. I can't do any more than that, guys. By the end of this, you'll know it all. You'll see how it works. You'll see the lies, the deception, which you saw in this video, and then you'll see how, when you make a complaint in Chicago, how they react to it. Now, you give your complaint to the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, and if it's a constitutional rights violation or a criminal violation, they believe they will keep it. If it's a policy violation, they'll give it to Internal Affairs. So if they call you up and say, okay, we're sending it to Internal Affairs, like they did with my Snelling case, I knew they weren't taking it seriously. So anyways, my name is Disorderly Product News, wishing you and yours a very happy and healthy, safe weekend. And good night!